The community versus the cartels. Federal and state agencies here and in Mexico are counting on residents to help them track criminal activity.
Channel 5's Carolina Cruz explains why these agencies are taking this approach to community policing.
It's called Campana de Seguridad y Prosperidad, or the Security and Prosperity campaign. Today was the start of those efforts to dismantle criminal organizations. Folks are asked to submit tips of criminal activity to an operations center based at Border Patrol headquarters in Edinburgh. The hotline will operate here and south of the border. As violence grows,
over the last year or two, it's increased a lot.
So does the daily fear for Reynosa resident Robert Reyes. He was born in Veracruz but relocated south of Hidalgo a decade ago.
The violence in Reynosa is awful. People have fear of going out to run errands. You can't go out at night.
A new way of looking at the border region might change that. It'll take people like Reyes to make it happen.
For the first time, we're incorporating the community, the most affected. This is the group that day in and day out lives the consequences of criminal organizations.
Federal authorities in the U.S. and state agencies in Mexico are teaming up against cartels.
That way, we build a network to defeat a criminal network.
It'll work with numbers. An operations center in the U.S. will take calls from folks in Mexico, a system that's never been done before. U.S. Border Patrol already receives tips from folks in the valley, but the intel hits a roadblock.
There's a lot of tips that we get from our communities in the U.S. that identify a person. All that we have on that individual is U.S. information from the U.S. community. Now we're going to have the impact of who's working with this person or what this person does in Mexico.
Rio Grande Valley Sector Border Patrol Chief Manuel Padilla Jr. says bad guys abuse the lack of information sharing.
So when you have no communication, when you don't have those joint billboards, it creates a safe haven for the criminal organizations. They actually live here, some of them, go do their deeds in Mexico, and then come back and live here at night. So this is erasing that safe haven.
Chief Padilla Jr. admits communication between both border regions thrives during emergency situations, but not the rest of the time. Reyes looks forward to this intelligence sharing. He says he doesn't report activity to Mexican authorities.
The Mexican authorities sometimes don't get involved for the same reason, that it's a battle between cartels.
Chief Padilla Jr. and Governor Garcia Cabeza de Vaca emphasized anonymity for anyone reporting a tip. They're counting on the community to take down the cartels. We're told the call center is the first step in the joint efforts. There are two methods for folks to share a tip or a lead. You can do so by calling a 1-800 number, or folks in Mexico, a WhatsApp line. Reporting in the studio, Carolina Cruz, Channel 5 News at 6.
And again, as Carolina mentioned, the tips lines will be available for calls made from the U.S. or Mexico. 3 lines will be made available. The numbers are there on your screen, and Carolina just alluded to that. One of them is the mobile app, WhatsApp. These lines are available for anyone with information on criminal organizations and/or individuals sought by law enforcement.